Imagine this. You step outside into the fresh morning air, and around you sway lush, fragrant herbs glistening with dew. You snip a few chives for breakfast, some rosemary for dinner, and mint for your tea. All fresh, homegrown, and from plants that come back year after year with almost no effort. That's the magic of perennial herbs, the grow once, harvest forever heroes of the garden. Unlike annuals like basil or dill, perennials keep rewarding you for years, sometimes even decades. Whether you've got a backyard, a small raised bed, or just a few pots on your balcony, these herbs thrive with minimal care, filling your space with color, fragrance, and flavor all year long. Today, we're exploring 8 powerhouse perennial herbs that'll turn your garden into a self-sustaining paradise. Stick around till the end. I'll reveal one nearly indestructible herb that even forgetful gardeners can't kill. Let's dive in. 1. Chives, the effortless flavor booster. If there's one herb that perfectly defines set it and forget it, it's chives. These slender green stalks are the quiet achievers of the herb garden, tough, beautiful, and delicious. With their mild onion-like flavor, chives are the kind of plant that rewards you with flavor and beauty year after year without demanding much in return. Chives are among the very first herbs to wake up in spring, sometimes pushing through the soil while frost still lingers in the morning air. Their vibrant green shoots are a welcome sign that the garden season has begun. You'll often find them thriving when everything else still looks sleepy and gray. And once they start growing, they don't stop. Chives love full sun but can handle partial shade with ease. As long as the soil drains well, they'll happily form thick, grassy clumps that grow fuller and stronger each season. Once established, they're almost indestructible. Even a bit of neglect won't slow them down. One of the best parts of growing chives is how endlessly useful they are. You can snip them anytime for an instant flavor boost. Toss them into scrambled eggs, sprinkle them on baked potatoes, stir them into creamy dips, or blend them into herb butters. The flavor is light, fresh, and aromatic, without being overpowering. And just when you think chives couldn't get better, they bloom. In early summer, tall stems rise above the foliage, topped with round clusters of purple blossoms. These flowers are not only stunning, they're edible too. Add them to salads for a burst of color and a delicate onion flavor, or use them to infuse vinegar for a gourmet touch that looks as good as it tastes. Pollinators love them as much as we do. Bees and butterflies flock to the blooms, turning your herb patch into a tiny pollinator paradise. When the flowers fade, you can cut them back to encourage new, tender shoots. Or let a few go to seed if you don't mind a little natural spreading. Maintenance? Practically zero. Every few years, when your clump gets crowded, just dig it up, divide it into smaller sections, and replant. Each division becomes a new chive patch, ready to thrive. It's one of those herbs that just keeps multiplying, giving you more flavor, more color, and more life in your garden every single year. So if you're looking for a beautiful, edible, foolproof perennial herb, chives are your starting point. They're the definition of low effort, high reward. 2. Lovage, the forgotten giant. Every garden has its stars: basil, parsley, rosemary, but few remember the majestic old-world herb called lovage. Once cherished in medieval kitchens and monastery gardens, it has quietly faded from modern use. Yet anyone who rediscovers it wonders how such a generous, flavorful plant was ever forgotten. Lovage is a perennial giant, often growing 5 to 6 feet tall, with hollow stems and lush green leaves resembling celery, only larger, richer, and far more aromatic. Its flavor is similar to celery but deeper and spicier, with hints of parsley and anise. Just one leaf can transform soups, stews, or broths with its bold, distinctive taste. Every part of this plant is useful: the leaves for soups and salads, the stems for flavoring stocks, the seeds as a spice, and even the roots, which can be cooked or steeped in tonics. Nothing goes to waste. Lovage is a zero-waste herb centuries ahead of its time. It thrives in cool, rich, moist soil and prefers partial to full sun. Once established, it's tough, surviving cold winters and neglect with ease. It dies back in winter but returns stronger each spring, sending up tall stems topped with clusters of yellow-green flowers that attract bees and butterflies. With its height and dramatic foliage, lovage makes a striking backdrop in the garden. Lush, textured, and low maintenance. A bit of compost in spring and occasional watering in dry spells are all it needs. In the kitchen, lovage is a true hidden gem. A few leaves deepen the flavor of broths or sauces, and its seeds bring a rustic, old-fashioned charm to bread or cheese spreads. Historically, monks used it in tonics and herbal remedies, believing it restored vitality and clarity. Its fragrant oils even found their way into perfumes and bathwater centuries ago. Growing lovage today feels like reviving a piece of history, a forgotten powerhouse that combines beauty, practicality, and endurance. Plant it once and it will return for years, a quiet reminder that the most rewarding treasures are often the ones we've overlooked. 3. Thyme, the aromatic survivor. If herbs had personalities, thyme would be the calm, unbothered sage, unshakable, resilient, and quietly powerful. It's one of those plants that doesn't just survive harsh conditions, it thrives in them. Drought? It shrugs. Poor soil? It doesn't care. Forget to water for a week? It might thank you for it. That's because thyme comes from the rocky, sun-baked hillsides of the Mediterranean, places where rain is scarce and the soil is more stone than dirt. Over centuries, it's evolved to handle heat, dryness, and neglect, making it one of the toughest perennial herbs you can grow. But don't mistake toughness for dullness. Thyme is a powerhouse of aroma and flavor. Each tiny leaf is packed with fragrant oils that add depth and warmth to almost any dish. Sprinkle fresh thyme over roasted vegetables, blend it into marinades, or toss it into soups and stews. It brings that unmistakable Mediterranean note that makes food taste vibrant and alive. There are countless varieties to choose from, and that's part of thyme's charm. Common thyme, lemon thyme, orange thyme, creeping thyme. Each has its own unique scent and purpose. Lemon thyme, for example, adds a bright citrus twist that pairs beautifully with fish or poultry, while creeping thyme forms a fragrant ground cover that looks stunning between stepping stones or along garden paths. And here's where thyme really shines. It's not just useful, it's beautiful. When summer arrives, thyme bursts into bloom with tiny clusters of white, pink, or purple flowers that cover the plant like a delicate mist. These blooms don't just look lovely, they hum with life. Bees absolutely adore thyme flowers, making it one of the best pollinator-friendly herbs you can grow. Caring for thyme is almost effortless. All it asks for is sunlight, the more the better, and soil that drains well. In fact, if you give it rich, moist soil, it'll sulk. It prefers things lean and dry. Overwatering is the only real mistake you can make. Once established, it needs very little from you, just a light trim after flowering to keep it compact and productive. Here's a gardener's secret. Plant thyme where you can brush against it, along pathways, near doors, or beside a patio. Every time you pass, the leaves release their signature earthy sweet aroma, perfuming the air naturally. It's one of the simplest ways to add magic to your outdoor space. And like all great perennials, thyme ages gracefully. Over the years, it forms a woody base but keeps sending out soft, new growth. If your thyme starts to look tired in the center, just take a few cuttings, root them in a pot, and start fresh. It's easy and keeps your thyme patch thriving indefinitely. Whether in the ground, a rock garden, or a pot on your balcony, thyme proves that the best herbs aren't always the ones that need the most care. Sometimes the strongest plants are the simplest. 4. Mint, the fragrant rebel. Mint is the free spirit of the herb world. Bold, aromatic, and utterly unstoppable once it gets going. If there's one plant that refuses to play by the rules, it's mint. This herb doesn't just grow, it spreads, racing across the soil like it owns the place. But don't let that scare you. With the right touch, mint can become one of your most rewarding and low-maintenance plants. Once you plant mint, you'll almost never run out again. It's a hardy perennial that comes back stronger every single year, even after harsh winters or accidental neglect. The variety of mints available is astonishing. From the crisp coolness of peppermint to the sweet subtlety of spearmint, the dessert-like aroma of chocolate mint, or even the citrusy zing of orange mint. Each type carries its own distinct personality, scent, and culinary charm. Mint thrives in moist, well-drained soil and prefers partial shade, which makes it a lifesaver for those shady, damp corners where most other herbs struggle. It's also one of the few herbs that actually enjoy humidity, so it's perfect for placing near water features, garden edges, or shaded patios. But here's the most important rule of mint care. always planted in containers or confined spaces. Its underground runners spread aggressively, sending shoots in every direction. If you put it directly in the ground, it'll soon turn into a mint invasion, conquering nearby flower beds, herbs, and even lawns. To control it, keep it potted, or sink the pot itself into the soil so the roots can't escape. Harvesting couldn't be easier, just snip off the stems or leaves whenever you need them. The more you cut, the more it grows. Regular trimming keeps the plant full, leafy, and lush. You can harvest fresh leaves all summer long, and if you dry some, you'll have fragrant mint tea all winter. Culinary uses for mint are nearly endless. It adds brightness to teas, cocktails, desserts, salads, sauces, and marinades. Beyond the kitchen, mint is a wonderful natural remedy. It helps with digestion, relieves stress when steeped in tea, and cools the skin when used in balms or sprays. And here's a bonus. Mint is a natural pest repellent. Its strong scent deters mosquitoes, ants, and even mice. Planting mint near doors, patios, or outdoor seating areas creates a fragrant barrier against unwanted bugs, while filling the air with a refreshing aroma. In short, mint is the perfect blend of beauty and utility, a fragrant rebel that rewards you generously with minimal effort. Once you grow it, you'll never imagine your garden without it again. 5. Oregano, the Mediterranean marvel. When you think of the rich, savory flavor that makes pizza and pasta irresistible, you're thinking of oregano. This small but mighty herb has been a cornerstone of Mediterranean cooking for thousands of years. Cherished not only for its flavor, but for its strength and resilience. Oregano is a true survivor in the plant world. It thrives in poor, rocky soil where other plants would struggle and loves basking in full sun. The more challenging the environment, the more intense its flavor becomes. In fact, oregano's aromatic oils concentrate under stress, meaning that a little neglect actually makes it better. This herb's beauty lies in its toughness. Once established, oregano can withstand drought, heat, and even mild frost, returning every spring fuller and stronger. It's ideal for gardeners who forget to water or those with dry, sunny spots where delicate plants wilt. Oregano's small, oval leaves pack huge flavor, warm, earthy, and slightly peppery. It's a perfect companion for tomatoes, meats, cheeses, and roasted vegetables, adding depth and aroma to any dish. Beyond its culinary charm, oregano also offers powerful antibacterial and antioxidant properties, which is why it's often called nature's antibiotic. A thriving oregano plant grows into a small, bushy mound of green that looks great even when not in use. In summer, it produces clusters of tiny pink or purple flowers, which are not only beautiful but also attract bees and butterflies. It's a pollinator magnet that brings life and movement into your garden. A natural way to boost biodiversity while keeping your herb garden vibrant. Caring for oregano is blissfully simple. Water sparingly. Too much moisture can lead to root rot. Prune regularly. Frequent trimming encourages new growth and keeps the plant dense. Harvest often. Just pinch or snip the top leaves. The more you harvest, the more it produces. If your oregano plant becomes woody after a few years, it's easy to renew it. Simply divide the root ball in early spring, replant the healthiest parts, and you'll have vigorous new plants ready to thrive. It's an excellent way to refresh your garden and even share the extra cuttings with friends or neighbors. Oregano is truly the Mediterranean marvel, beautiful, aromatic, and almost indestructible. It brings the warmth and charm of Southern Europe straight to your backyard, rewarding you with flavor, fragrance, and resilience, season after season. 6. Sage, the silvery survivor. Sage is a rare herb that perfectly blends beauty, fragrance, and purpose. With its velvety, silvery green leaves, it's as ornamental as it is edible. A must-have for any garden. Native to the sun-drenched hills of the Mediterranean, sage thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, preferring drier spots where other plants struggle. Once it takes hold, it becomes tough, drought-tolerant, and disease-resistant, rewarding you with years of low-maintenance beauty. Touch its leaves and you'll feel their soft, suede-like texture. Crush them gently and you're met with a warm, earthy, slightly peppery aroma, the scent of comfort food and ancient healing. Sage's flavor is bold and savory, perfect with poultry, roasted vegetables, and butter sauces. A crisped sage leaf in brown butter can turn a simple dish into something truly special. But sage's value extends far beyond the kitchen. For centuries, it's been used in medicine and ritual, burned as smudge sticks to cleanse energy, brewed as tea to soothe sore throats, and revered by ancient Greeks and Romans as a plant of wisdom and longevity. In the garden, sage matures into a semi-woody perennial that can live for a decade or more. Its blue-purple flowers in late spring attract bees and hummingbirds, transforming a small herb patch into a pollinator haven. To keep it thriving, prune lightly after flowering and mulch the base before winter in colder areas. Avoid overwatering. Sage dislikes soggy soil. Hardy yet graceful, this plant truly lives up to its name. Sage is more than just an herb. It's a symbol of resilience, flavor, and timeless beauty. 7. Lemon balm, the mood-boosting miracle. If happiness had a scent, it would be lemon balm. Its bright citrus fragrance lifts your spirits instantly, filling your garden with a cheerful, refreshing aroma. A close relative of mint, lemon balm is just as easy to grow, but with a gentler, calming personality. It's a perennial herb that thrives in partial shade or full sun, spreading easily from seeds or cuttings and returning every spring with lush green leaves. The soft, heart-shaped leaves release a sweet, lemony scent when touched. Not sharp or acidic, but soft and soothing, like lemon tea on a warm morning. It's perfect for teas, salads, desserts, syrups, or infused oils, adding a light citrus note without overpowering other flavors. Beyond its taste, lemon balm is famous for its healing and relaxing effects. Herbalists have used it for centuries to ease anxiety, stress, and insomnia. A cup of lemon balm tea before bed is known as a hug in a cup. It also supports digestion and attracts bees with its delicate white or pale yellow flowers in summer. However, lemon balm can spread quickly, so it's best to grow it in containers or trim it back regularly to keep it under control. A mid-season haircut encourages new, fragrant growth and prevents overcrowding. Lemon balm is more than a plant. It's a natural antidepressant, a pollinator magnet, and a beautiful reminder of calm. Plant it near your door or patio where you can brush past and breathe in its sunny scent. It's proof that nature's smallest gifts, a leaf, a scent, a breath of lemony air, can bring peace to even the busiest day. 8. Rosemary, the evergreen workhorse. If one herb represents strength, memory, and endurance, it's rosemary. This hardy evergreen has been treasured for centuries, a fragrant symbol of remembrance that thrives where others fade. Native to the sun-soaked coasts of the Mediterranean, rosemary is built for survival. It loves full sun, dry soil, and good airflow. Overwatering is its worst enemy. Rosemary prefers to stay on the dry side. Give it a bright, well-drained spot, and it will reward you for decades with evergreen beauty and rich aroma. Its slender, needle-like leaves release a fresh, piney scent with a touch of lemon and wood. In ancient Greece, students wore rosemary garlands to sharpen their minds, a tradition born from its reputation for improving memory and focus. In cooking, rosemary is bold and versatile, perfect for roasted meats, potatoes, bread, and soups. Even a single sprig adds depth and warmth, while rosemary-infused oil or butter transforms simple dishes into aromatic feasts. Beyond the kitchen, rosemary's blue to violet flowers appear in late winter or early spring, offering bees vital nectar when little else blooms. In mild climates, it stays green year-round, bringing life and fragrance to the garden even in winter. Caring for rosemary is simple: full sun, well-drained soil, and light pruning. Grow it in pots if winters are harsh, and let the soil dry between waterings. It's easy to propagate from cuttings, making it both generous and enduring. Some rosemary bushes in the Mediterranean are said to be over 50 years old, a living symbol of resilience. If you had to choose one herb for a plant once, enjoy forever garden, rosemary would be the perfect choice. Evergreen, enduring, and unforgettable.